What's up, Reject Nation? I am G-Train.
I am Jay Bird.
And today with us, we're doing a special video with Warren from the channel The Cosmic Wonder. How you doing, Warren?
Am I W-Train? Is that what's happening?
Yes, sir.
Or anything that you can modify with a W. I'll leave that to you, you know.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You
Okay.
look good, man. You look great.
W block.
So right now, Warren, what's this giveaway you're doing on your channel?
My giveaway that never ends. I'm giving away an Xbox One or a PS4. The winner gets to choose. I started, I think, when I hit 500,000 subscribers, and it ends when I hit 550. Took a while to get there, which is why it's been going on so long, but we're almost there. So if you'd like a chance to enter, subscribe and leave a comment on a video.
As long as you're there before they release PS5.
And that's what everyone's saying. They're like, dude, you're going to have to do a new giveaway soon. I'm like, I am, ain't I?
Let's not brush something under the rug, though, okay? Warren might have, I mean, he's only, at the time of filming, he's 542,000 subscribers. And now some people might go, but Greg, John, you guys got 707,000 subscribers. Aren't you guys defeating Warren in every category? And I'll tell you guys, the answer is no. Warren's view count is freaking stellar right now.
Yes, it is.
And it's been so it is like it's impressive because he absolutely deserves to way surpass us in subscriber count, and this was his idea for the video, and I was like, absolutely, dude. We did one last week where we talked about Wolverine fan casting for his channel, so you guys can go over to there, but today we are going to do fantastic. There's got to be a pun here.
Fantastic.
I was going to say that. Yes.
But can we make fantastic have also fanforstic in it?
Fancaforce cast.
I think we're getting there.
This is content.
This is stuff that gets better.
Right.
It's in the video today. So what we did was this time around, last time we had Warren do his own poll on his community page for Wolverine. We did ours as well, but we had different picks for the most part. To keep things simplified, to keep things condensed, what we decided to do this time, here's what it is. I pretty much stole Warren's text. Because I was
Plagiarism.
like, he's got
me.
this. We said reteaming with the Cosmic Wonder this week for our channel. Last week we asked you who would you like to see cast as Wolverine. Now we're asking who would you like to see cast as members of the Fantastic Four. Who should play the Fantastic Four in the MCU? Comment with an actor for each role. We got an actor assigned for each character. The Thing, Human Torch, Invisible Woman, Mr. Fantastic, and other. And we will talk in order from least voted. We have a tie on our end. To most voted. So, Warren, you kick us off first. Who is your least voted pick?
Emily Blunt as the Invisible Woman.
She's your least voted?
She's
Really?
my least voted, which I found like extremely surprising because most people want John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, since they're married, to play Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman since they're married. And everyone's like, it's perfect. And I was like, huh, interesting.
Part of me wonders if people are packaging Krasinski and Emily Blunt as well.
Probably.
Yeah, that's maybe what we should have done.
Yeah. It's hard, right? How do you include 4 different teams in each one, I guess? So maybe there's a little bit, maybe it's skewed a little bit there. I personally think that she's a great pick, and I would love to see her and John together in a movie, especially a movie where it's like they're together in the movie, right? So I think it would be a great pick, and I actually think she looks the part, and I think she would do the character justice a lot.
Well, let's backtrack here. There's no way she can be better than Jessica Alba.
Yeah, Jessica Alba, like that. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Career defining.
When she's in the bra in the city,
Yeah.
that moment for a lot of kids was.
I think that's why they cast her.
Yeah, right. For that specific moment right there. No. Yeah.
Prove it.
No, she really was. And like everything down to like her hair color and just the behavior with her and Reed, like everything was perfect. So I agree with you there. Like to me, I like that Fantastic Four, right? To me, that's the Fantastic Four to me. Now the ones that followed, whatever. But I actually liked that movie.
So you're being 100% genuine.
Yeah.
Guys, subscribe to the Cosmic Wonder channel.
some Fantastic Four love. I'm glad.
He gets to break down on so many awesome things, and sometimes he is willing to stick his neck out.
I don't understand. And you know what? While we're at it, I like the prequels to Star Wars too. Sue me.
Wow. This just took a turn.
I'm sorry.
Get your Xbox from Warren and then see if you still want to subscribe to the Cosmic Wonder.
I've always liked them. Maybe because I was a kid when they came out, and I'm like, I really want to be a pod racer now. I don't know. I don't think they're as bad as everyone says they are, but that's just me.
Well, to be 100% fair and honest, I do find a lot of fun in the first Fantastic Four, and I actually enjoy Attack of the Clones. And so, yeah, as many jokes I want to make. I mean, Phantom Menace, I can't meet you there, but Attack of the Clones,
I understand.
I can get on board with her. I think Emily Blunt. We're tied. We have 2 at 9%.
Okay,
we're not including other on here, but we got 2 at 9%. Emily Blunt is one of them, and I would agree with John. People are probably lumping her into that category.
Yeah.
Spoiler: most people won't watch to the end anyway. John Krasinski is the #1 pick. Right?
By
far,
margin.
number one pick.
Everyone's like, John Krasinski has. I was actually kind of surprised with that because I thought there might be like a little bit of a split here of Emily Blunt has to be Invisible Woman and John Krasinski has to be Mr. Fantastic. So maybe there is a thing in the voting here of people are just assuming that if you're getting John Krasinski, you're probably getting Emily Blunt.
Sure.
Because for me, I think that out of anyone that we put down here, the one who would bring the most value in terms of a top caliber shining performance, I feel like would be Emily Blunt as the Invisible Woman. Mm-hmm. But if we're gonna talk about her, I think we do gotta just kind of go out of order here and totally break the rule of what I established. John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, like yes, they did star in A Quiet Place Part 1 together,
right?
But what we haven't gotten truly is a movie that showcases their hilarious. Like, I mean, it's more than just them being funny, but
right.
I don't know if you've ever seen interviews with those two.
Yeah,
it's very apparent the chemistry that they have, and you're like, yeah, these two should be together forever, and I hope they're the celebrity couple that never gets because they're not only incredibly charming together, they're also really funny, and their romance just seems to shine on camera when they're sitting next to one another, and like they're both exceptional at comedy. And I think Fantastic Four needs a little bit of they need some of that comedy stuff in there, and especially if you're going to be in the MCU now.
Right.
I think that John Krasinski and Emily Blunt are the two picks that I'm sure most people will be like, that is perfect.
You would be correct. Reading the comments on this post, there were 2 things made very clear, and one of those 2 things was most everyone likes John Krasinski and Emily Blunt for those roles. It's like a Martin Freeman Bilbo situation. I feel like they kind of are the perfect casting, and I think it's one of those rare moments where if they pulled the trigger on that, I think everyone would be pretty psyched.
Well, yeah, I mean, they both can bring. They're both scientists with a loving history with each other.
Yeah, I mean, in real life.
And the original comic, I believe they started off engaged and eventually got married and had a kid, who I believe is like a crazy ass mutant.
Oh yeah, he's an Omega level mutant.
Yeah,
and I have theories about this that I'm doing future videos on, but
care to break any of them?
Guys,
here?
go subscribe to the Cosmic Wonder.
Got a scoop for us?
So
very funny guys.
Well, so the mutants are coming to the MCU, right? And literally their son is an Omega level mutant, like one of the strongest mutants alive. Literally in one point in time in the comics, everyone and thing is destroyed, and the only things that are left are him and Galactus. And it's just like, that's how strong he is. He's like insanely strong. So Kevin Feige's already said the Fantastic Four are coming. He's already said the mutants are coming. We just have to imagine that at one point in time, he's coming as well.
Well, they should make John Krasinski and Emily Blunt's real kid star.
and then you get that.
I think people are not really factoring in the whole scientist part of Mr. Fantastic. Because when I think about that, John Krasinski in science role is not something I really associate with the guy. But then again, what he did post office,
Post
Jim
office,
Halpert,
right?
Post. Oh, that should be when The Office gets picked up again on Netflix.
Now it takes place in the mailroom.
I've heard his work as Jack Ryan is pretty cool.
You're right.
In
Yeah.
the Michael Bay movie he was in, he actually did a really cool job in that film. And of course, in The Quiet Place, he's awesome. So
Yeah.
I know doing the action hero type role, he can definitely pull off. I'm sure the scientist stuff is something he can pull off too. He seems like a smart fella.
Yeah,
Better
throw
than
some
Mark
glasses
Wahlberg
on him.
can.
Yeah, just throw some glasses on it. He's proven he can get the Marvel bod for films that are not Marvel related. But wouldn't Mr. Fantastic need to be a little bit more... Would we want Mr. Fantastic to be the buff build that John Krasinski has? Or do we want him to have a bit more of like a Grant Gustin build that's really skinny, you know?
The tall, stretchy guy.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing is.
Thing?
You're on fire there. you
all
human torch.
intentional puns. Well, I don't know, right? Because I think it's the same thing. It works both ways. I think people group Emily Blunt in with John Krasinski, but I think they kind of group him in with her as well, right? Because I think it's the couple that everybody really likes and their dynamic. Like you were talking about how they are with each other in interviews. Because we've seen them both do the action, right? Emily Blunt, one of my favorite movies is Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise. Such a good movie. Yeah. Such a good movie. And she's done other things as well. And then John Krasinski, you just named, a bunch of stuff he's done as well. So we know that they can do it, but I think people really love them together. People are kind of looking past, like, well, he should be, he's always been kind of skinny and lengthy, right? He's never been like a super muscular guy. I think people can look past that to get like what the fans want, right? But you're not wrong. Like typically he is in the comics and what we've seen on screen so far, a pretty lengthy person.
Yeah,
not buff or anything. Yeah.
Now, would we want him to direct it because of that? Like Ben Affleck, we still haven't gotten that with any of these movies,
right? Yeah, and he has mentioned he would love to direct an MCU film, and of course everybody's asking him, hey, have you talked to Marvel about Mr. Fantastic? And I firmly believe that they have, and because what are they going to say? Yeah, totally, I've talked to them about it, right? Like they're not going to ever say that until something is officially signed, right? So Emily Blunt, it was revealed that while she was filming Jungle Cruise that she talked to Marvel Studio, who Disney owns of course, that they talked to her about a role. And it's like, okay, well, we don't know what the role was, but what do we think
Maria
it
Rambo.
was?
She's like, I don't think. Have you guys read these comics?
that's about akin to when Billy D. Williams was Harvey Dent, and then they replaced Harvey Dent with Tommy Lee Jones.
Right, yeah.
On the mark both times.
It's weird. Talking about the lowest voted one forces us to talk
about
the highest voted one. So let's talk about the people in the middle now.
Yeah. Well, I actually think that the people in the middle are the ones actually we should be talking about the most, because I think it's just like, okay, Emily Blunt, John Krasinski, that's what we want. But the other ones are kind of undecided, right? So
who do you have though? Who's your like second pick?
I just want to point out that Emily Blunt was 9% as well, so there was a three-way tie there. But then Zac Efron, Human Torch, 10%.
Okay,
he's 9 over here.
He's our 9. But if you combine ours, he's 19.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's legal age.
He's in the lead. Zac Efron as the Human Torch. Honestly, I could see him doing it. I really can. And I think he's kind of like Robert Pattinson has moved past the whole Twilight thing.
Right.
So I think with like Batman, I think there was an initial thought of Twilight guy, but then everyone also took a second to go, well, wait a minute, he's done like a lot of great shit.
Right. Yeah. Ton of
I
it.
think Zac Efron has proven himself as a wonderful the thing with the Human Torch. I think Chris Evans truly helped define it. The one thing that we're all on board with is like, out of that film, even if you don't like it, Chris Evans nails that role.
So good. Perfect. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, that rebellious, charming attitude, but also, hilarious. And Zac Efron is that guy that like people like me hate, like super athletic, super
right? I know, right?
But incredibly funny and incredibly talented too.
Right.
And I think that he actually would fit the mold of the Human Torch pretty well. Like when I submitted the pick, I don't know. And then I thought about it. Like, the movies, I haven't seen the Ted Bundy movie, but the comedies I've seen him in. I've never seen a High School Musical film, but I've seen
neither have I.
But like his work, he is so damn funny in those Neighbors movies.
Neighbors, Baywatch. Oh my god,
he's even funny in Baywatch.
Right, yeah.
Baywatch's not even that good of a movie, but he's really funny in Baywatch.
Yeah,
and I think he absolutely fit that role. What do you think about him doing it?
I agree. I thought the same thing. It's just like Robert Pattinson. It's like a lot of people couldn't get over the Twilight thing, but then they took a step back and like, look at all these awesome movies that he's made so far, right? And he's not like a super skinny guy anymore. And I think he's going to kill it as Batman. And I think it could be the exact same thing for Zac Efron. He's moved past the High School Musical, and I've never seen a name. So I can't say anything about them, but all the movies, the Neighbors, all that stuff like that, they're hilarious. And like you said, Chris Evans kind of defined the character on screen as kind of like the snarky, charming, like you said, right? But he's like really, really sarcastic a lot too, and just really quick-witted. And I think Zac Efron could nail that. I think that would be a perfect role for him. I really do. The only thing that could beat it is if they just simply brought back Chris Evans.
Yeah.
In the comments, there are a few basically opinions along those lines in a couple different places.
Right, yeah.
It's funny because Chris Evans had a lot of roles like akin to the Human Torch. In terms of personality-wise, back then. I mean, he kind of brought back the douchey persona with Knives Out.
Oh,
That's still a performance with, like, gravitas.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
But I remember, like, I think the first movie I saw him in was Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
he's also one of the douchey boyfriends in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. I love that movie so much.
Humphrey, what are your thoughts on the Efron?
I like Zac Efron in this role for all the reasons you guys have listed. He's one of those choices where I wouldn't be overly hyped about it, but I also wouldn't be disappointed in any way. I'd be like, yeah, he's a solid pick. There is, however, one name that came up in our comment thread a ton of times that I actually think could be pretty fun, and that was Dacre Montgomery. Hands down, he was pitched the most for a potential Johnny Storm that's not Zac Efron, and I thought that was actually pretty decent choice.
What has he done that can
Stranger Things, right?
Power Rangers.
No, I think he does a wonderful Billy, right, in Stranger Things.
Right.
Yeah, he does. I think he does a great job in Stranger Things, and I think for the most part he was a fine Red Ranger. But I don't. He's definitely got qualities that really remind me of the Human Torch. I feel like it's really essential for him to provide comedic relief.
It would be one of those roles where he would have something to prove still. It wouldn't be one of those like sure bets, but it is one of those gambles that I could see panning out for certain. And we also got a decent amount of harkening back to last week, Taron Egerton name call-outs for him as well. And Sam Claflin is the other name, who is he was in one of those. He was in a couple Hunger Games movies as like the tall, skinny, kind of friendly guy who we're friends with.
My question about our picks though is, and you've brought this up in your videos recently. Warren, subscriber to the Cosmic Wonder, 550K subscribers. Just throwing it out there.
Xbox PS4.
Yeah. You brought this up frequently as a late of how they're going towards a lot more diversity. And all things considered, before we move on to The Thing, all things considered, with the Fan-4-Stick film that Josh Trank did, they did go out of their way to put Michael B. Jordan in the role of the Human Torch.
They did, yeah.
And in case you guys don't know, he is not a white person. I need to make that clear for people who don't know that.
Can we pull up this information?
The basketball player is not a white person. Right? Just don't want any idiots out there thinking that.
What is Michael Jordan's middle name?
Yeah. And I know in the original comics, they are Caucasian. And honestly, as much as I am someone who champions diversity, I mean, freaking look at me. It's not like I champion diversity.
Watch our 23andMe video.
I don't necessarily have a problem if I'm not going to be like, why the fuck do they only cast white dudes for this? But do you have do you think at all that they might want to go try to find someone who is not perhaps their look is not, to put it bluntly, to put it bluntly, a white person.
We better get so many more puns in here by the end of the day.
I know, right?
I do think they will. I don't know if it could be for the Thing, right? Because, he's a rock.
And funny enough, that's where the most diverse range of suggestions came.
Right, exactly, right? So I don't know. Now I definitely know that Marvel and Disney are definitely striving for more diversity. Kevin Feige has blatantly said that many, many times. I am a fan of sticking true to the comics, however. But if something works, I don't mind at all. Like, Nick Fury's white in the comics, but Sam Jackson's awesome.
Hey, we already got David Hasselhoff, okay? Did it once.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So I think if it's done correctly is all I really care about. If you cast the perfect person for the role, I don't care who it is as long as it's a perfect fit for the role.
Amen to that. That's pretty much it, right? That's all it really comes. I think what we often do in our fan casting is people usually go for the look.
Right.
And I think that's why, especially for like Wolverine, even though when we did Wolverine, that was like everyone's top pick.
Right.
We were all three of us were like, well, there's personality and acting things that we're considering mainly. But what most people do with fan casting is they do go after the look.
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
But I think there's plenty of actors, and this is gonna make me look great. None who come to mind right now. who could definitely at least bring the qualities and the personality traits of any of these people. So
right.
I think with these fan casting choices, it's like we always factor in, do they look the part akin to the comics as well? But yeah, I just thought it was something important to bring up because that's always a fun topic.
Right.
Well, and one thing that was interesting in looking at the feedback, too, is that even started to come up in people's fan casting for Ben Grimm / The Thing because a lot of people were picking really big, meaty actors, and then I saw other responses coming in of like, well, Ben Grimm doesn't have that build. It's just The Thing that has that build.
Right.
So, like, Ben Grimm doesn't need to be The Rock, in regular Ben Grimm form, anyway.
Well, let's move. Well, John,
segue.
Thank you.
Was that a segue? Guys, we did it, and with 12% off the segue.
Wait, what? Warren's the guest on
Warren,
this channel.
What's segue to you?
What's your percentage?
Of the next
for
person?
The Rock or for The Thing? I mean.
Sure.
Yeah, way to reveal.
Same thing, right? It's The Rock at 13%, and just because of that, I wore my Rock shirt. This is his.
I can smell it.
Brand with Under Armour. Now I kind of have to be guilty on this one as well. I think The Rock would be really good because of his build, right? Because I don't actually think you'd have to put too much rock on him. Like, you'd have to make him look like The Thing.
But you could just like paint it on.
Just paint him, right? Yeah, exactly.
Airbrush.
Exactly. But
you look practically the same, Ben. What's the problem? Why are you trying to reverse this?
Your skin tone's different. So what?
Right. But at the same time, so that's a perfect segue again. You have to think like they're not going to do the Fantastic Four the same way that Fox did them. Like, they won't. Sure. They're going to try to stay as far away as they can from that because there's. Besides the first one that I like so much, a lot of fans don't really like the other Fantastic Four movies, right? I think they really are going to try to differentiate between the two of them, right? Like, hey, this is an MCU Marvel film now, right? Disney. This isn't Fox anymore. So you have to wonder, like, how are they going to make them look, right? How are they going to give them the powers that are going to make them kind of different? Because we truthfully don't know. But 13%, I do have The Rock. And actually in the comments, have a lot of people that are like, no, I don't want The Rock. I can't really see him doing it.
Same thing with us.
That was the second most commented thing.
Because like, even though technically he is second place in the voting,
sure,
he's undoubtedly the number one most talked about of no, don't want it.
Yeah. Right.
I'm like, this is kind of weird because of the comments are all saying
this is a perfect poll because you have John Krasinski and Emily Blunt on the definitely yes side, and then The Rock on the definitely no side, and then a whole bunch of no man's land gray area where the other two characters go.
I mean, so, like the thing, I think The thing, though, oh my god,
just keep coming.
We'll make a drinking game and all get liver failure.
These puns are rock solid.
Oh.
Are they not?
Oh,
Make too many, you'll find yourself caught in a rock in a hard place.
Transition.
Stones.
Well, there's a couple of fascinating points brought up about this. It's like, yeah, one part is Ben Grimes does not need to be a buff guy because Ben Grimes isn't, and that's the whole point with his deformity.
right.
Well, I don't know if deformity is insulting to the comic
To
fans.
rock people.
How dare you? Yeah.
The rocks.
The Rocks are signing petitions right now on Twitter to take down Greg Alba.
Insensitive to people who have been in chemical space accidents.
Yeah,
Right.
rockophobic, man.
Sorry.
The flip side I would have, if I wanted to play a little bit of devil's advocate, I don't even know if it's really devil's advocate, it's just a fact. Ben Grimes is primarily not Ben Grimes.
Yeah,
he
he-
True that.
primarily the thing, because that's a big part of his journey is, why am I this thing?
Right.
And he
Yeah.
can't reverse it, and his journey to accepting it. Then a different conversation kind of opens up here. The I'm trying not to say the other thing.
Say
Trying to
it.
avoid my puns. Okay. The
other thing.
The other thing.
Take a shot.
The other point I can bring up though
There you
is no, I got so
You're gonna
focused on
forget
that
the
I
point.
forgot my point.
Words.
He's not been much of the
alright.
time. He's thing.
Okay, the other point that I feel I could bring up is, now Mark Ruffalo plays the Hulk, and that is a CGI mocap performance.
Right. Yeah.
I think a lot of people really did appreciate with Fantastic Four, the first two live action movies from Fox, of how they put Michael Chiklis in a real suit,
Right.
and he had to spend hours putting that thing on.
Yeah.
The way they say that, it makes it sound like they had a suit and they had hours to put it on. I'm just like, is he just trying to squeeze it? 12 hours just trying to just put his arm in one. And people appreciated that.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
regardless of whether or not you even thought the effects of that were good, they were certainly better than the CGI in the Fan Four Stick movie, right?
Right. Oh
And
yeah.
I-
100%.
I feel like probably at the end of the day, the MCU, to maintain consistency, like how they've done with Hulk, how they've done with Thanos, that they would probably just CGI mocap the performance.
I can see that for sure.
I imagine they still would, even though I personally don't want them to.
In a post-Thanos world and in a world where they have Korg.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, Korg was actually. I was thinking about that today. Probably not too far off than what they would do for him. You know.
Yeah.
True. That's very true.
Probably not that far off.
Just
if
yellow.
Yeah, just make him yellow. Really, it's just bulk him up a little bit more. But I mean, he's a big, bulky rock character. It's essentially the thing.
Just get Taika.
Right? Honestly, there you go. Cast Taika, and I'm sure he could direct it at the same time. And he would definitely bring the humor aspect to it for sure.
I think Taika could probably bring a pretty amazing Fantastic Four movie
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It would
Totally.
have the requisite amount of fun for whatever else they need to put into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I guess like if they are doing mocap, I guess it doesn't really matter the build of the actor. But if you're not going to do mocap, I think you'll be safer off with a guy who has a build that
yeah.
you put makeup on. Yeah.
Or do you do two different actors?
Like in the old Hulk show.
Yeah, right.
Lou Ferrigno.
It doesn't have to technically be the same actor. You could have somebody come in and play just like a normal looking Ben, and then all of a sudden it's John Cena as the thing, right?
What they should get is Alex Wolff from Hereditary and Jumanji to play Ben Grimes, and then The Rock will play the thing.
There you go, right? There you go.
I'll
Just
just
do
continue
the same
that.
thing.
And then Kevin Hart could be the Human Torch.
There you go.
There we go. We got it. We cracked it.
Perfect. We figured it out. There you go, Marvel. You're welcome. We're done.
I'm so excited for Jack Black to finally play Doctor Doom. This is gonna be.
You're naming a movie I would pay good money to see, all right?
Yep.
Surprisingly, I thought this video would be exceptionally longer than the Wolverine one, but
Oh, we can get there.
Oh yeah,
Strap in.
I have some interesting comments on here that I would like to talk about though.
Please, that's what I wanted.
Interesting comment that I like surprisingly love. I don't think everybody else would love it, and I actually don't know if it would work. I just know it would be hilarious. Got James Franco as Victor Von Doom and Seth Rogen as the Thing.
I've heard a few Seth Rogen either name calls or rumors about it.
Actually, okay, I think James Franco would totally botch the Doctor Doom performance.
No, yeah, don't do
like
that.
James Franco only cares if it's like an art
He's
house.
too
movie.
likable too. Like I love James Franco.
I love James Franco in like the art house or indie films. The films where there's two James Francos out there. There's the James Franco who's a passionate method actor,
right?
And then there's the James Franco who doesn't give a shit about the
movie.
Right. On set, baked, and collecting a check.
And I feel like in the bigger films he kind of just coasts by on charm and doesn't really give it his all.
He's got a lot of charm.
I think
Spider-Man 3.
Yeah. But I think Victor Von I would not want James Franco. But honestly, Seth Rogen is I could weirdly see that for the Thing. I really could.
Like I always see him in the interview, and it's kind of like in that movie, he just doesn't care. Like they hate us because they ate us. Like, so I'm just like, is that what I would see on screen? I would just see the two of them from the interview in the Fantastic Four, right? But
well, then you would have to make Dave Franco be Mr. Fantastic.
Dave, right?
And then, which means Allison Brie has to be
She-Hulk.
I mean, I don't think this movie has to have comedy, but I don't think it should be a comedy.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
And I think that's where the original Fox films, especially the first one, was like pretty debatable for people. Was like, this is like Tim Story made that, and I think Tim Story makes some really funny ass comedies, and I really thought he did the Shaft movie, the most recent one.
Oh yeah,
I honestly thought that was a hysterical film. But I think that's where like you need to be. If they only went comedy, I'm not sure about that. But what other picks are there?
Thing on our end, one of the biggest surprises, which was actually one of my personal picks that got commented the most, was Terry Crews. A lot of people would love to see Terry Crews take on.
I like that.
Stone Cold Steve Austin got a few name checks, and one of them included an Andy Samberg as Ben, and then Stone Cold as Thing. So I just wanted to mention
interesting.
that.
I like Terry Crews. That's
a
good one. Mm-hmm. I love Terry Crews as a person, but I like him for that role. I
met Terry Crews once outside of a hot dog restaurant.
Oh, there you go.
Very nice fella.
Very good hot dog.
That's super awesome. Well, the one that I saw, and I've done a video on this a long time ago, and I think this would literally be perfect because Fantastic Four coming, which means the Silver Surfer is coming, and I personally think Keanu Reeves would be perfect for that role.
Keanu, man. Yeah, he'd be a perfect Silver Surfer.
His demeanor and the way he speaks and the way that the Silver Surfer is in the comics and even how he was in The Rise of the Silver Surfer, Keanu Reeves would crush it. I think he would just be absolutely perfect for that role.
But would they want to hide that sexy face of his?
I wouldn't want them to, but
what if it was just his body, Silver Surfer's body, and Keanu
Reeves' face?
I choose this form when I'm on Earth.
One of those,
right? I just think that his attitude and the way he carries himself fits it so well. And absolutely. I've heard talk before that they're actually thinking about just doing a Silver Surfer film, like on his own, origin and how everything, and then because Galactus is supposed to be the next big bad, and so maybe an origin film could be how they first introduce Galactus. Like at the end of it, it's like, well, you save your home planet and become the Silver Surfer. So that would be a movie to where he would probably be himself most of the time, and then at the end become the Silver Surfer.
Oh yeah,
and then he can hand the role off to some guy.
There you go.
I feel like this is the best conversation about Fantastic Four anyone's ever going to get, and this is the last conversation. You don't even need to see the movie when it comes out now.
Nope, this is all you need.
Did it here?
It was
this
fantastic.
Is all we needed. This is
just skip to Galactus right away and we're done.
Yep, there you go.
We needed what we should have done is gotten a fourth person on this video.
Oh, because we could have a fantastic forecast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fantastic forecast. I like it. There you go.
Yeah.
But one word. Forecast. One word.
Forecastic.
Forecast.
Guys, Warren, I want to thank you so much for being here. Warren is someone who supports equal rights.
Especially in
do.
ensemble Marvel casting. Michael Ealy's going to play every role.
Whatever your faith is, Warren is cool with that. I want everyone to know that.
And you know, the Thing is Jewish, so that's going to be an important part of the movie, too.
He's accepting of everyone. So with that in mind, if you want some great exclusive, he's usually the first person I see to have a news report out on some awesome Marvel news, DC news. You sometimes do Star Wars, right? But lately it's been a lot of Marvel.
Do you get Image Comics news?
So I actually started a separate channel just for comics news. It's called Superhero Central. If anyone's interested.
I was joking.
Wow.
Superhero Central.
Yep.
I will subscribe to that channel.
It's very new. It's very new. But
Over
I
there,
plan
he's
to do
giving-
comics news on it.
And then once he reaches 2,000 subscribers, he's giving away 50 Blu-rays.
No movie on them, but just the Blu-ray discs.
Just the Blu-ray
You
disc.
could put so much on those yourself. Think about the possibility.
Yeah, go check out the Cosmic. Seriously, it's a wonderful channel.
Thank you.
And in the time for our channel when we're not getting that many huge trailers, we have found that covering the Cosmic Wonders channel has been great for our channel.
You're a lot like a movie trailer for us.
Well, I've been watching you guys for I think 2.5 years now. And I've, like I said, before I was even doing YouTube, I was subscribed to you. So this was a complete honor for me. Thank you guys so much for coming on my channel and let me come on yours. This is an absolute blast. I love it. So
Wait. So when did you start your channel?
The
Cosmic Wonder.
My first video, I believe, was in February of 2018. And then I didn't post another video for like 2 months. And then I posted a video again. Then I didn't post for like another 2 months. And then I got going. So
You got to 540,000 subscribers faster than we did.
I had Avengers
by a good
Infinity
margin.
War and Avengers Endgame, though. And, two of the biggest movies of all time. So I contributed to that, though. If I didn't have those, you'd be blowing me away.
We had Prometheus.
I'm all for collaborations, but when I see a threat, it's a different conversation there, Warren. No, there's been plenty of people who started after us who are way surpassed.
That's same with me.
List video coming your way.
I really do think that you're wonderful at your job. Your video. Honestly, there's been some information channels that I generally. It's like they provide information and some cool edits and stuff. I love how the edits are actually simplistic, yet your personality to back them up on the information actually is really easy to absorb and really easy to pay attention to. A lot of times with these information stuff, I'm like, there's a lot of information being thrown my way with a shit ton of visuals going on in the background. And I'm like, I'm having actually a hard time keeping up with everything, but I think you really know how to you know how to provide a wonderful presentation for everything you're doing. It's not like I'm just reading some report. It actually is something that I find very engaging. So, and I've watched plenty of your videos now that we're not reacting. I don't just like go, oh, we're gonna react to it. Oh, screw it. No, I've covered. I've watched. I actually, as the day I filmed this, I watched your Venom 2 trailer update video.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So thank you for doing what you do, and I think you provide a great service to the community of fandom.
Why, thank you.
So subscribe to Warren. Make sure to get him to 550K subscribers. Real Rejects. If you made it to this point in the video, I have a question to you guys. Put down in the comments your favorite ensemble, your dream ensemble for Fantastic Four. How about that? Yeah.
Fan cast your favorite side character that's not going to be speculated about.
And who should Mel Gibson play in the MCU? Let us know.
Galactus. There you go.
Thanos' son.
And he's just Mel Gibson.
Subscribe to The Real Rejects. Click that notification bell. But in all honesty, the main thing I care that you do is subscribe to The Cosmic Wonder. Thank you guys so much for being here. keep a lookout for some other video we'll be doing some other time soon. See you guys.
See ya.